Hello, everyone. I am so excited that you are here. I'm going to try to keep an eye, in the chat. I've got lots of screens going on here. So this weekend, I'll take a little behind the scenes, maybe either video or pictures to show what's going on. I know I had some comments from some people, even some teachers. They're like, "Wow, Mr. Crader, look at your house back there behind you. That looks awesome." Well, that's like Hollywood magic. I've got the green screen. I went up to school yesterday. Mr. Murray met me there and let me in, and I got the green screen. So that's a fake background. My background. I wish my house looked that nice. I wish I had an office that looked like that. But anyway, I hope everyone's doing well. Thank you all so much for participating. Those of you who are live right now, and then also those of you who watch the replay. I think the video has over 100 views right now, and I hope that continues to grow. So I'm excited. I'm super excited. I'm wearing my Funda gear. I've got my Funda shirt. I know we've got some Funda people in the chat room right now who are there. Yay, go Funda! And I'm wearing my Funda gear because Funda's in the lead as far as the points go for our Corona virus. I guess house points that I'm going to be keeping up with for the assignments and things that you turned in. So. I'm going to switch it over and kind of show you what we're going to do today. I'm not going to stay on too long, hopefully around 10 minutes or so. And then I'll let you get back to doing what you're doing. You're only going to have one assignment to do today. And for those of you who are commenting like in the chat, if you're using like your parents' YouTube handle, your YouTube channel, let me know. Put your name in there because I know some of your parents' names, but I don't know all of them. So just first names. You don't have to put first and last in there, but put your parents' name so that I know, who's going. All right, let's go to the outline of what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to switch over to that real quick. So, you had a couple assignments to do last night, the picture prompt writing and the homework review. I'm also going to talk real briefly about that coronavirus journal writing that I hope that you're continuing to work on. And the lesson today is going to be about poetry, specifically how to write a haiku. And so some of you may already know how to do this, and that's great. If you already know how to write one, you can, type one up in the chat and post it for everyone. But I'm going to teach you how to do that a real quick way, and that's going to be fun. And so your homework for the weekend is to write one haiku, because I do plan on being back on Monday live with all of you. So we're all cooped up in our houses right now, so I might as well come back live even if it is a spring break. So I want to look at some of the picture prompt writing. This is the activity that I asked you to do yesterday. It's based on Write It by Frank Morrison. I want to share 3 of these that I really liked. There were a lot of good writing assignments. If I don't share yours, please don't be too upset. I'm sure I'll have a chance to share more with you as the weeks go on. So this first one's by Austin. Here's what he said when he looked at the young lady who was like reading in her journal. He said Avi was walking down the street, clueless, but writing in her journal. Oh, no, wait. Avi was walking down the street clues, but writing in her journal. It was cold walking down to her house. She was excited to tell her all about her day. She opened the door and smelled something good. Her mom said, "Hi." Avi said, "Hi back." Then she said, "What smells so good that I think I'm a dog?" She said it was a secret dish that her mom taught her to do. 1 hour later, they ate and then watched a movie and went to bed. Avi said, "We wait until the sun shines above my head, and then it's time to tell my mom about what happened tomorrow." I wonder what happened. Thank you, Austin, for submitting that. Next, this came in on the YouTube comments from Nicole D. I'm assuming that's a parent. I don't know. I don't know Nicole D. So if you let me know in the comments or in the chat who you are, like your first name, then I'll give you credit for this. Anyway, this student wrote, "The little girl in the picture looks like she's drawing a creative drawing in her notebook by what she's wearing. I can see that the girl has already thought of what to draw by the graffiti behind her and her mind-blowing experience. I can also see that she's on the sidewalk, walking alone and by herself. Anything could happen at that moment, day or night. Anything could happen." Wow. Yeah, that sounds like that's a good setup for a good story. And last but not least, Mackenzie A. Wrote, "When I look at the picture, I see a little girl drawing her notebook about how her day was at school while she was going to get some books for her family, as well as food and toys for others on Christmas Day. But they're in a place where it never snows there, even though it always seems to be very cold, though there. She lives with all of this pressure at a very young age. In the image, she looks 9 to 12 years old, so she's probably in third to sixth grade, and she shows her emotion through her art and journal entries." Awesome, awesome job, Mackenzie. Awesome job, all of you. Thank you so much for participating in that activity. And also, Mackenzie celebrated a birthday earlier this week, so I want to give her a birthday shout out. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mackenzie. Happy birthday to you. All right, Mackenzie, I know we didn't get to have your birthday celebration at the East Conference like we were hoping to do, but I hope you had a good time on Monday, or I mean on Tuesday, with your birthday. She's a St. Patrick's Day baby, just like my grandfather. All right, moving on. Next, you had the boring geography homework. Oh yeah, also people give Mackenzie a happy birthday shout out, in the chat, in the comments. She definitely deserves that for having to celebrate her birthday in these crazy circumstances. And if you got an upcoming birthday, let me know. I'll give you a shout out on a future broadcast. So we had a boring geography assignment to do. Boring in quotation marks, because you had to find some interesting city that had a silly or a funny name. And I gave you a few examples yesterday. This one was Boring, Maryland, but I also talked about Frost-Proof, Florida, Zigzag, Oregon, and then a city that's near where I live, Possum Grape, Arkansas. But here are a couple real funny ones that kids sent in. Oh, well, wait, before I get to that, last night we had during the tornado warnings that were up in like North Arkansas, I saw this come up on the screen and I thought it was hilarious. There's a town in Arkansas called Stumptoe. So if you look at the bottom of the screen there was a tornado there. I hope everyone, that part's not funny, the tornado, but Stumptoe, Arkansas, that's a funny name to me. All right, next. Raylindo sent in Goobertown, Arkansas. I'm sure he just sent that in so that he would have, his teacher say Goobertown. But Raylindo, that was a real funny one. And Austin sent in Flippin, Arkansas. And others were sent in too, but these were two funny towns that were sent in. Thank you all again for participating in this. Oh, we got some coming up. Looneyville, Texas. Jacory just posted in the chat. I see a lot of people in the chat are giving birthday wishes to Mackenzie, and so thank you for doing that. Looneyville, I love Looneyville, Texas. That's awesome, Jacory. All right, so real quick, I really hope that you are keeping a journal. I think, years from now, you can look back at this and it will help you remember, all the craziness that's going on in the world. So definitely keep that up. That's not an assignment you have to turn into me, but that's an assignment that I hope that you are, keeping up with and doing daily. I'm continuing to do that. I try right before I go to bed each night to sit down and type my thoughts for the day. So go for that. Mackenzie just sent in Idiotville, Oregon. Ugh, okay. Idiotville. I'll have to check that one out. Hopefully, there are some smart people in Idiotville, Mackenzie. So, house points total. I have to update this. This isn't completely updated. Amistad, you've got 10 points for the coronavirus, Mr. Crader house points right now. Dinan, 10 points. Funda, 30 points. Yorisi, 10 points. And I'm sure I'm going to hear in the chat in just a second that, hey, Mr. Crader, you didn't give me your points. I'm going to go back in and add them up this weekend. All right. I see Austin's reminding me of some other ones that I didn't say in the chat. Okay, so today's lesson is going to be about how to write a haiku. Now, a haiku, like it says there on the screen, is an unrhymed 3-line poem. It's based on a traditional Japanese poetic form. So the first line has 5 syllables, the second line has 7 syllables, the third line has 5 syllables. So you can visualize it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then I guess the question becomes, what's a syllable? So let me explain what syllables are. They're the beat and rhythm of words. They're the basic parts and pieces of words. Some words have one and other words have several, but all syllables must have a vowel sound. So I'm going to show you real quick the best way, in my opinion, to count syllables. And that is like is pictured on the screen. You rest the top of your hand under your chin, and every time your chin drops, that counts as 1 syllable. Some of my typing didn't get on there. So I'm going to turn it back over here to the camera, and I'm going to demonstrate that. So when I was your age, teachers would make me like clap out syllables like January, March, Goobertown, Arkansas. They would make me do that. And that's good and everything, but sometimes my clapping would be off, like baseball, and that was wrong. So I've learned, through the years, this is the best way to do it. So you put the top of your hand underneath your chin, and when you say a word, anytime your jaw drops, that counts as a syllable. So let's use, Raylindo's favorite city here, Goobertown. Goobertown. All right, that's 3. Baseball, that's 2. January. How many is that? 4. Carver, 2. Magnet, 2. So you get the picture. Anytime you put your hand underneath your chin, anytime your chin drops, that means you have just said a syllable. So haikus. The first line has 5 syllables. The second line has 7 syllables, and the third line has 5 syllables. So look at on the screen to the left. There's an example of a haiku. You can stick your hand underneath your chin and go, refreshing and cool. Love is a sweet summer rain that washes the world. Okay, so I felt all of that. Now I'm just going to read it normally. Refreshing and cool. Love is a sweet summer rain that washes the world. All right, so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to write some haikus. So haikus can be, a lot of times nature is involved in haikus. So you can write a haiku about nature. Maybe you want to write a haiku about the spring, since we just entered the spring season. This haiku is about the winter, and this poet gives you her reasoning for doing it. It says, I've decided to write a haiku about winter, and I know that in the last line, I want to make an observation. I want to say that winter's almost here, but we aren't quite ready for the snow. Maybe it's that we haven't raked the leaves off the front lawn, and we need to do it soon before it snows. So I want to say all this, but I want to do it in a pattern, the 5, 7, 5 syllables. So this is what she did. Winter is coming, snow will be arriving soon. We should rake the leaves. All right. So winter is coming. 5. Snow will be arriving soon. 7. We should rake the leaves. 5. All right. Um, Next. So I said haikus could be about nature. This one's about a cat. Tired cat sleeps all night. He needs lots of rest for a long day of napping. I bet some of you have been like a cat, or maybe some of you have been home with your cats and seen them nap all day, and maybe some of you have been napping too. Here's a funny haiku. My homework is late. My dog ate it this morning. I sure like my dog. Yeah, that's a good one. Even as a teacher, I can appreciate that funny haiku. So, things to remember when you're writing any type of poem, just not haikus. They're the shortest form of storytelling. So, you want to tell a little story in those, 575, that's 17 syllables you have to work with. So, they don't need to be complete sentences. Poems don't have to be that. So, don't waste your time with boring words. And your poem doesn't have to rhyme. Seriously, they really don't. And rules of grammar, like those pesky capitalization rules, don't apply. And like I put down there, don't tell your short story because it might get jealous. So, to get started writing a haiku, you need to pick a topic. It could be about nature, it could be about something else. And you need to make sure it has 5 syllables, 7 syllables, and 5 syllables. All right? So, if you're having trouble like figuring out words for your haiku, you could do this. You could pick a book up around the house and you could find your own poetry through the book. This is an example of like someone using a book and using the words in the book to help them write the poem. You have the one and only Ivan, so you could pull that out and you could find words in there to help you write your haiku. I did that this morning. And here's the example that I made. I used to be wild. The sun's shadow reminds me I am a great ape. So your haiku, it could be about, it could be from the book, The One and Only Ivan. If you don't have your copy at home for whatever reason, in the description below, I'm going to put a link to where you can download the entire text of the book. So you can read that, The One and Only Ivan. But your homework tonight is submit 1 haiku. If you do that, you will get 10 house points for your house. If you submit more than 1 haiku, I will give you 10 additional house points for a total of 20. You can only submit as many haikus as you want, but I'll give you 20 points if you do more than 1 haiku. And the best haikus, the ones that I read on the air, I'll give you another 10 points for that. So you have the opportunity to earn 30 points. Come on, Dinan and Amistad and Eurisi. You know you want to beat Funda. And whenever you get in the lead, like if Amistad or Dinan or Funda gets in the lead when we check on this next week, I will wear your colors on the air. I'll have to put my Funda stuff away. So Funda people out there, make sure you do all these assignments and earn all these points so I can keep wearing blue. So I know a lot of people are saying, how long is this stream? It's a lot longer than what I thought it was going to be today. I'm about to end. So I'm going to turn, I'm about to sign off. I'm going to go back to your homework assignment. Before I sign off, are there any questions? You need to get these in to me during the live broadcast. You can always message me. You can always email me at carvercardinals@gmail.com. I will respond. You can go into your Google Classroom and email me through your East Google Classroom. You can do that as well. And so I'm going to read a few comments now. I've got, let's see, some of the ones here at the bottom. Thank you. Yes. Yay. All right. Thank you for the help. Oh, you guys are awesome. You're so welcome. Again, I'm going to be here next week. So I know next week's spring break. I promise not to assign you a whole lot of work. I mean, 1 haiku. I mean, we're talking about 17 syllables here. That's not a lot of work for you to do. You can knock that out real quick. But I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. I'll be back on the air Monday at 1 p.m. And I'm going to sign off with the song that I started with. And when the song finishes, I will close out this live broadcast and I'll try to respond to some of the comments during the song. I hope all of you have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. And we're all going to get through this. And I can't wait to see you back at school as soon as possible. All right. Bye bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.